Good day, my dear students and all other students across the world. I believe you all are spending the days in gaiety. While learning is the part and parcel of student life, this is why we teachers are always with you for your better learning outcome. This is your English teacher MMR here today. I would like to share some ideas on how to write a composition. My target students are the students of class 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and even the students of class 11, 12 can enjoy this lecture. I personally believe that after this very lecture, with the realization of this, my students will be able to understand the process of organizing ideas into paragraphs to write down a good composition. Now, let us see how we can write a good composition. First of all, we need to see what a composition is. What does the word composition mean? It's an intellectual creation. It means a set of words put together in a certain manner with structure and cohesion. In the literal sense, a composition is the way a writer assembles the ideas. It comes from the Latin meaning to put together. It takes several ideas and puts them in an order. What are the types of composition? How many types of compositions are there in English grammar and language? There are 4 types of compositions we have got so far: descriptive, narrative, expository, and argumentative. Now let us see which are known as descriptive compositions. A statement or an account that describes something or someone, listing characteristics, features, and significant details are known as descriptive compositions. We can say the compositions which are set in the concrete, set in the reality, solidity of an object, a representation of a person, a place, or a thing, providing the look and feel of objects, are the descriptive compositions. If we want to give an example of descriptive compositions, we can say your favorite sportsman is a descriptive composition. Then comes the narrative composition. A personal account or a story that the writer shares with his or her readers are known as narrative compositions. It may be an account of a series of facts or events. These are to say, presenting individual scene or actions, having strict chronological order, including flashbacks. If I want to give you some examples of narrative compositions, I can say when you write on the composition on your first day at college, a trip by air, a journey that you have made recently, these are the examples of narrative compositions. After this, we get expository compositions. The act of expounding or explaining a person, a place, thing, or even event are known as expository compositions. These are to say, not mere descriptions, but to give it in reality. We need to show the logic and we need to say why this happens. Not mere description here is only the thing. Again, an interpretation of ideas on what the thing means. Very importantly, the thing that you need to keep in mind while writing an expository composition, that is laying out a proposition to explain a general notion or abstract idea. For example, when someone asks you to write down a composition on why parents are sometimes strict, it becomes an expository composition, because here you need to write down the reason. You need to explain something. That is expository compositions. Last of all, we can say about argumentative composition. The modern students, those who are expert in doing debate and turncoat, are very much known to this type of topics. Here, only description or narration isn't enough. You need to show the logic on which ground you are speaking something, and you are showing your logic. Logical argument should arrange the body of this very composition. It's very, very good practice of offhand or freehand writing. If I want to give you one example of argumentative composition, I may say about the topic, science is not only constructive but also destructive. This is a very good argumentative composition. If this type of topic are set in the question paper, and if you write only about the wonders of modern science, you describe it, you cannot get good marks, or you cannot even get mark, because here you need to show how science is a blessing for human being and how it can be destructive as well. You need to stand on your own ground of logic. Only then you can expect to get good marks. However, after argumentative composition, I'm going to tell you something about the steps to follow in a good composition. My dear boys and girls, here first of all you need to have your mind mapping. In the mind mapping, you need to arrange the outline. Don't think that these outlines should be mentioned or written in your answer script. You need not to write them down, but in mind you need to arrange them. The first one, we say opening sentence. Some people may say topic sentence, or event to approach, or an opinion. Then we need to make the ideas. These ideas should be connected to the topic sentence. Then we need to think about the details. We need to elaborate the ideas. And finally, we need to think about the closing sentence. After we have finished completing, or we have just made the mind mapping in our mind, then you need to start writing the composition. While writing the composition in the exam hall, we need to keep the things in mind. These are the steps. Write the title first. If you don't write down the title, you can't expect to get the best mark. Again, organizing the ideas into paragraphs. The ideas that you have thought so far, you need to write down them in good paragraphs. In one particular paragraph, you need not to write down different ideas. One idea, one paragraph. That should be our target. Then complete the body of the composition. We need to complete it in paragraphs, through paragraphs. We shouldn't write down the whole composition in a single or a particular paragraph. Then we need to have a look whether there is any mistake or errors in writing the composition. We need to rectify those as well. Now, let us see how these compositions are set in the public examinations. In different public examinations, compositions are set to assess the students, their learning outcome, and also to see their ability in offhand or freehand writing. In the JS exam, one topic is given and it is to be answered for 12 marks, but this question is not in the present curriculum and syllabus. It was in the past. In the present curriculum, English are for 100 marks, both first paper and second paper together. That's why this topic has been deleted from the syllabus, or excluded from the syllabus. In the SS examination, one topic is to be answered out of 1 for 12 marks, and in the ACC exam, one topic is to be answered out of 1 for 14 marks. So we can say the examiners are assessing the students of SSC and ACC appearing students for 12 and 14 marks respectively on composition writing. Now let us see what are the 7 rules of writing compositions. There are 7 rules, and these rules will take you to think out of the box. The first one, we may say the rule of the thirds. If you are a photographer, if you are a cameraman, you know and you should know about the rules of the thirds. A type of composition, especially in photography, in which an image is divided evenly into thirds, is known as rules of the thirds. In composition writing, we need to divide the topic into 3 parts: introductory part, body of the composition, and finally the concluding one. That is what we say rule of the thirds. Then we need to achieving the balance. We need to exaggerate a particular point of view or idea. There should be a balanced discussion. We need to use the leading lines so that the examiners can have a skim through of the writing. We need to be aware of the patterns and symmetry. You all know that symmetry means balanced proportions. Only one particular topic or one particular idea or one particular paragraph is getting bigger and bigger. That shouldn't be the motto. That is symmetry. Framing your subject, utilize the cropping, and create a focus. These are the 7 rules of writing a good composition. Finally, my dear boys and girls, these are the very important tips for you to write a composition in any public examination or even in any examination. These are known as the key takeaways or general tips or general instructions on how to write a composition in any examination. First of all, I would like to say, start your composition with a title or a headline. Then organize the first paragraph as a hook, then the thesis, and finally the synthesis. Now, what is a hook? It may be a new term for you. You know the function of a hook in general term. A hook makes you bringing something to you. It centers some actions. So the first paragraph acts like a hook. It centers the whole discussion of the composition. That is why in grammar, in modern grammar, the first paragraph is known as a hook of the composition. No hints or outlines are to be mentioned. You need not to write down any hints or outlines in any composition writing. Then write different ideas in individual paragraph each. For every individual idea, there should be an individual paragraph. Take care that all sentences you are writing are grammatical and structurally correct. If your English isn't correct, you can't get a good mark. For spelling errors, for grammatical errors, the examiners will cut mark from your writing. That's why be careful about your grammar and structure. Good students are always careful of spelling of each vocabulary. If your spelling are not correct, you cannot get good marks. That's why be careful of it. Again, be very much careful about the overall expression of the writing. Whether you are writing to the point, whether you are going to exaggerate something or some point, whether you are in the right track or not, you need to have care of all this. Have a look whether the organization of your writing is coherent. There might be coherent discussion. If you lose it, then organization might not be correct. In those cases, you may write down so many things, but you won't get good marks. Don't try to lengthen your writing unnecessarily. There are some students who have a very false idea that if they can write down so many pages in the public examination or in any examination, they would be able to get very, very good marks. This is a wrong notion, wrong idea. You need to write to the point. You need to write according to the demand of the topic. That is what you need not to lengthen your writing unnecessarily. Different paragraphs of your ideas are to be chronologically balanced. There should be a chronology. You need to maintain the serial. If you just keep it imbalanced, then the examiners will take it otherwise. Finally, don't exaggerate a particular idea in any paragraph. For example, you're writing a composition and you are writing a particular paragraph for 3 or 4 pages. This is too much. You cannot do it. That's why each of the paragraph should be to the point. Try to cover all the probable points or sides of a particular topic. That is what is much expected from every examiner, every teacher. It will help you to open the branches of your thought, of your idea, and it will help you to nourish your intellect when you are thinking about probable points and sides of a particular topic. Try to give an inch gap in between 2 paragraphs. While you are writing a particular paragraph, you need to give 1 inch gap so that the handwriting seems to be attractive and good. You know, first impression is the best impression. If your handwriting is readable, if there is well organized and well decorated, beautifully beautified, the examiners may be attracted at your writing and you may expect to get very good marks in any examination. So from my side, all these were the points that you need to remember while you are writing a composition. Don't forget, this is an offhand or freehand writing, so you are free here. But before you write, if possible, you need to practice freehand writing at home every day on a particular point or on a particular object or topic that you see and you observe, you enjoy. For example, you enjoyed a study tour. Coming back from the study tour, you write down everything in detail what you enjoyed. You need to follow the serial like this. How did you plan for this very study tour? How did you go there? How did you reach? Who escorted you there? Who accompanied you there? What are the things you enjoyed? What are the activities you did over there? How did you spend the whole day? How did you come back? What did you do after coming back to your particular institution? All these very things. And what have you learned from this very study too? You need to write them down in a particular kata or script, and then you need to submit it to your teacher. Thus you can practice your offhand or freehand writing. It will help you to write down any composition in your future life. I wish you all a very, very good luck, my dear boys and girls. Only one suggestion, advice for you, that is, follow the rules of health and hygiene. You all know the pandemic is going on everywhere across the world. So we need to keep safe, we need to stay safe. I once again wish you very, very good luck in the coming days. Thank you all for your painstaking endeavor to listen to this very presentation today. I would be happy if you realize my discussion and if you can use them in your practical life while you are writing any composition.